Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again, another reaction for you guys. Today, guys, of course, here continuing the journey of Transformers Prime. This is Season 2, Episode 23. Of course, we'll not know the title until I get into the episode. I was not prepared for the ending of last week's episode because you guys have been saying since the introduction of Smokescreen, I was obviously at the start of his introduction to the show a few weeks back or so. I think it was only a few weeks. You know, it's only been a little bit. That I've been skeptical about his character. You guys were commenting saying, just wait. Just wait, like you're gonna be surprised, and I am, because for him to be the final piece of this puzzle, and I think Megatron coined it as he's the final piece of the final thing of the icon, or whatever, the final piece to the icon. Well, the exact way did he word it? But he's the final piece in it. I actually have like the previously on pulled up here. Let me see here. What did they word it as?
Prime's latest recruit is the final relic of Iacon.
The final relic. Okay, I was like, couldn't find that word. The final relic of this. So the fact that he is surprising. Why is he the final relic of? I don't know. I'm guessing they're gonna have to explain it, because it went from these different pieces of like tech, and now it's an actual bot. Is there something inside him, like when he was formed or made, something was, I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying, like there's something in his skeleton or something, like skeleton. I have no clue. They're gonna have to really explain this, because it goes from like all these different machines and little pieces of stuff to now it's an actual living bot. So I really hope we go into some detail on what the hell is going on here, but it's intriguing and it's interesting. We've seen a lot of things happen this season that definitely is surprising, in terms of Megatron going all the way back to Cybertron to cut off a hand of a Prime to wield the hammer to make his own, Star Saber, a dark Star Saber. So at this point, there's no telling what they're going to do. Something revealing Smokescreen is the last relic or whatever of this whole thing. It's like, okay. So I'm trying to dive in to see what they do, because we're getting closer to the Season 2 finale. We still have another season to go, obviously, and then we have a film to wrap everything up afterwards as well. So without further ado, let's get into now. Let's see what happens, guys. Let's go.
Wakey, wakey.
I was about to say it.
Finders, keepers. Enough prattling, Knockout. Hand me the final Iacon relic. Now.
He doesn't have it?
Can't really help you. You got the wrong guy, Chief.
No,
Optimus
you
Prime's
are.
the one who can decode the Iacon database.
The
It's you.
question is,
What?
what is it that you are still packing? Why, hidden treasure. How could smoke be an Omega key?
It's in his
Perhaps
skeleton
he
or
isn't
something they just
key,
showed.
But its container.
So Smokescreen assumed everything went black because he was hit by Decepticons.
But
Ah.
Alpha Trion is the one who actually turned out the kid's lights.
And with the mobile relic, Alpha Trion couldn't possibly supply fixed coordinates.
So the Big A slipped us a clue instead.
He's gonna phase through and take it.
Trippy.
Oh, that is weird.
Get this stinking hand out of my gears!
Imagine if I managed to acquire the other three.
Wait, what's going on?
I could revive Cybertron.
Oh.
And
It's like, what's
seize the
happening?
throne as Starscream the First. But unlike Megatron, I lack the necessary infrastructure to enforce such a reign. No
Yeah, you do.
warship, no army. I would all too gladly trade this, simply to be restored to my former glory.
Oh, I bet.
And the ancients possessed technology that has long been lost to what we consider modern science. This much is certain. We cannot restore
Oh.
Cybertron without
I was like,
all
why do I watch
four
this
Omega
again?
keys in our possession.
The power to remake Cybertron as I
Now it's gotten
see
worse.
fit.
They know this now.
Once more into the brain pan.
No, not again! Worse how?
Uh-oh. Smart. I figured he was gonna fight his way out somehow.
Well, aren't you the clever one?
It phasing through, yep, I figured.
They passed.
Oh! And, yep.
What?
They're already gone, he's so quick. How's he gonna get off the ship, though? That's the question. Exactly. Just space right through.
The keys.
How do you know he's on the roof? But all right, whatever. Yeah, you could jump. Good luck, but
Pity you are incapable of flight.
he's still going for it. Holy shit! Oh,
Smokescreen
Bridge,
signal, it's back
bridge.
online.
just throw him. Oh my gosh, they gotta figure it out somehow. And face through exactly. There you go. Ooh, that was close.
He's off course. Proper grounding on this thing doesn't apply to actual ground.
Yeah, exactly. Oh shit. Ooh, oh man. I forgot that guy was falling. That one guy falling who was a car. So bad. I feel so bad.
Destiny. Alpha Trion knew I'd keep it safe.
Well, yeah.
Nice work, kid.
Then 3 keys are accounted for.
Then the fourth is still somewhere on the Khan's warship.
No, it's not.
Unless Megatron never
Starscream.
had it to begin with.
Starscream.
I have obtained something of interest to you, which seems to be of no practical use to me.
Don't trust it. Don't trust it.
There.
Starscream,
It's the
show us the Omega key.
it's the duplicate body. It's not him. Nope. Exactly. You've been tricked.
We're too late.
They didn't even notice him. Oh, too late. He did mention he had one more dose of this. Oh yeah.
Oh, how easy it would be to gut you.
He literally
Gut
could kill all
you.
of them right now, but he won't.
First things first. I
Ah,
was wondering what happened
she's
to
still
that
there.
wretch.
Starscream has been deceased for quite some time.
Well, how's that possible if
No.
you just sent us a message?
Oh shit.
RC, close the ground bridge now.
Exactly. It's too late. He's just
Now that I have
he's
your
just slowly
secrets,
walking like this. Oh. Exactly. Oh shit.
What was that?
That was funny.
You Autobots think you're so superior.
You're done for. Yep.
The red energon wore off, didn't he?
Oh, come on, guys. Oh, shit. Things have gotten worse. Oh, my God.
Release me from this absurd predicament.
No. Invade it and retrieve the Omega keys.
Been there. Done that. But I have come bearing a peace offering.
Oh, shit. Okay, so this was a great episode. At first, it was decent because we're the continuation of, Smokescreen and what's actually going on, and it's one of the keys inside him. And I guess he just never realized that he has one of the keys, one of the relics of Icon. Anyways, but regardless, they were all taken at the end by Starscream, which we'll get to all that in a second because I have a lot of interesting thoughts about that ending and why he's there on Megatron ships. Anyways, so it was pretty decent, and then it just kept getting more interesting because now all of them are together, but then it's like the whole back and forth of who has what, because it's like no one realized, because Decepticons were thinking, okay, well, the two of them are with the Autobots, and of course, Megatron, Optimus, and they think, oh, well, we still need to get this one. They don't realize Starscream had one. And using that other Starscream bot actually was beneficial in the trick because he used the other body to trick Optimus and them, who went across into where the message was sent and everything. It was a good trick by Starscream. The whole sequence with Smokescreen actually getting off the warship was very good, My only question is, because I don't want to think too logically, that this is a show tailored more towards kids. Anybody could watch this show and that like Transformers, but I don't understand how Megatron somehow just knew to get on the roof, like immediately. I'm assuming there's some sort of escape pods or something off that warship. Why would Megatron already know that he's going to the roof? Like, I don't know. It's like, unless he was being tracked and he didn't know through the warship, which is possible. But Megatron was just automatically there as soon as he phased through the wall on the roof. The sequence of him diving, he can't fly. He still went for it. But he did phase through the ground, so that did work. But he was willing to risk it all. Megatron throwing guys off, and one of them turns into a freaking car. He died on impact. They murdered him. We've seen some significant damage and deaths of bots that have happened on the show, or even if they don't outright show or explain its death, we know that a bot died. This one exploded, and it was meant for comedic effect because he threw off one flyer and then one that turned into a car. But he slammed, like, he slammed. Still, it was murder. Like, Megatron murdered one of his own out of fury and anger. So, I don't know. It was just funny. It's a funny moment. Starscream, like, he knows. He knows how important these are. And then Megatron found out through the memories of Smokescreen, which was a nice reveal because that one scene of him, I'm not really familiar with the lore of these relics and what's going on. And then as the camera's panning back, I'm like, this is not a new scene because freaking Smokescreen's standing right there. I'm like, this is a flashback. And then the way they had Megatron walk in off the corner and the camera starts panning to him, very smart. Because it wasn't like we're rewatching the same scene. It is the same scene, but it's a different camera angle. And then Megatron, it was a good reveal to show it's a flashback memory scene. It was a pretty cool reveal how they did it. The whole thing with Starscream using the Red Energon, and they made a point earlier in the episode to mention he had one dose left. And I think when he even made it, he had say one, maybe two doses of this, and now he's used it both times. When they showcased how he pulled it off, and then when time started to kind of come back and everything, and the slow-mo of it all, it was pretty fun. And what I think is interesting, even though Megatron has been there, they still don't know where the base is, really. Like, Megatron maybe has assumptions, but not really for sure. They were thankfully not able to dive further into Smokescreen's memory, which they probably should have done that maybe first before realizing the true meaning of the Iacon, like relics and everything. Because Megatron was able to easily rewatch this whole sequence go down in terms of the importance of these relics. Why they didn't use Smokescreen first and foremost in terms of his memory to find out where the base is before they dive into anything else, because he was a prisoner, baffles me to no end. Why they could not have figured that out first, I don't know. But I guess it would make it too easy now because the Autobots, their base is completely revealed. Like, there's no way they can get out of that. Like, that is a game-changing thing. Decepticons know where the Autobot base is. That changes everything on the show because they can't stay there now. So maybe that's why they didn't have that take place, because they could have easily done that with Smokescreen being captured. But anyways, Starscream at the end. I wanted to talk about this at the beginning of the review, but I wanted to wait and build up to it because I was not expecting Starscream to be there on the ship. But then again, I actually am not that surprised, because when he stayed in his kind of like when we saw Cybertron, I can rebuild Cybertron. However, I don't have the resources to really do it. He doesn't have the manpower. He doesn't have what would truly take in order to rebuild an entire planet. However, he says, I would trade it all for my return to glory. But what I really think he's saying is, I want to come back as a peace offering, which he said, I have a peace offering. And he has the 4 keys. It's not really a peace offering. Starscream is at a point, character-wise. Now, if they don't do this, I'll be shocked. But based on what I've seen of this character up to this point, he was loyal, quotations around that, loyal to the Decepticons and Megatron. He really isn't. He's really only been about ruling the Decepticons and having an army behind him, which he lost when he got kicked out, when Megatron returned. But then later on he got kicked out and he was banished and all that, and he was gone. But now he's back with a peace offering with the keys. He's going to try and attempt to betray Megatron to take over like he tried before when Megatron was basically out in space for a bit and they brought him back and the whole thing, and it was a whole thing. Great storyline how they handled all that. But Starscream, I think, is ultimately back to try to get back in Megatron's good graces, but then ultimately try to become the new leader of the Decepticons. That's what he wants. He needs to do this peace offering in order to get into power to where he can do this. It's not going to work, but this is what he wants. So it's not so much being the right-hand man to Megatron anymore. It's to play that role until it's time to betray him. It's gonna fall flat on his face. It's not gonna work, but he's gonna try, because Starscream has always been about himself. He's not been so much about, well, in their sense, the greater good. I guess the bad, not greater good, but you get my point. The character is all about himself. That's why he made clones of himself. That's why the clones turned on each other, because they're ultimately not about making a team working together. It's about one ruling them all, one ruling over everything else. That's why they all betrayed each other. That's why everything was just falling apart with all the clones. So there you go. So from here, I think we're going to see Megatron, first of all, try not to kill Starscream, because he hates him with a passion. He's going to be conflicted, but Starscream is going to pretend that everything's good now, and he's, want to be back in the good graces and be on the good side of the Decepticons. I don't know what the Autobots are going to do. I know Optimus is at a level of where we've never heard him scream like that. He was so frustrated. We've never heard or seen him like that before. So I'm really curious how they're going to handle him moving forward, because now he's lost the Starsaber. He's lost all the key. I don't know where we go, man, but I am curious. I'm fascinated, because wow, this was intense. So what'd you guys think of the episode? I'm curious to know your thoughts. I was not prepared for where we were going to go in the episode, but here we are, and things are getting more intense and more crazy, and we're only a couple episodes away until the ending of season 2, which is crazy to say that, but yeah, I can't wait to see what happens next. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.